Amen. I just moved. See what? نعم أربعة يعدين الملك أقدارت بيمو يعدين نوي أخاد شما يخاد آمين 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 Today you should be today it's the outside. Today is the outside of the Aaron Berachia of Medina. He was an Italian Kabbalist. He was author of many Kabbalistic works. His most famous work is what people might know is called Me'ever Yabok. Me'ever Yabok. Ma'aver Yabok. Ma'aver Yabok. Where in the minor Lashon. In the minor Lashon. So there's a section here after the Hilim, there's the Zoyar, and then there's a section called Ma'aver Yabok. And that was authored. It's a Yutim which are said like Kivrei Tzadikim, by the rest of the many Tzadikim, and it's also authored by this Aaron Berachia of Medina, whose yahrzeit is today. Tonight is the yahrzeit of the author of the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. What? Gansri, yes. Shlomo Gansri. Probably until today, it's probably the most popular halachic work, I'm guessing, ever sold. I don't know. Is something more popular? Halachic. More mishmurus, more used than Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. About 10, like talking about
the average man and the
I would think. I don't know. I would think Kitzur would be more. I think it's I don't know. What's what's more soul? What halacha is more soul than Yisrael? Till today.
Oh, but you have
Pesach
Kiddush
Shavuot
with
Pesach
Shabura, so it's like double whammy.
Yeah, he sells it to you every year. It expires. Anyone have the app? It expires. It really expires. You can't go in. And it's also tonight is also the anniversary of the undoing of the Frankistan. Frankenstein? I don't know. There's a guy Frank. There's a guy Frank. I don't know if it's related to the Frank over here in Florida. I don't know. No Frank. You met Frank with me. Guy the motorcycle.
Oh,
Yeah.
He gets a lot of food.
Truma, exactly. This guy does high holiday services in church, Florida. So I asked him. I said, Frank, are you serious? You really do? I always see it advertised. I was playing. He says, yeah, we have 2 seatings. We sell out. It's a big place. Have thousands of people there. He says, we sell out twice. So we do 2 seatings. It's so busy. I said, but how can you do it here? He says, what's the problem? I said, it's a church. He says, so what? These people pray. There's crosses there, are you, Frank? That's what I said. He says, no crosses there. There were T's. T. He says, T is for temple. And for teruma. He says, and for teruma. And he says, and I do, he says, and that's where I collect my teruma. He said, he was good. He's so funny. He was honest. He was honest.
Anyway, probably direct descent.
So the original Frank. No. Used to come here. Tall guy. No. He was good friends with Barbados. He used to come out Barbados. And he was first here. I'll tell you, I remember his name. Khan. Jeremy.
Yes.
All right, so Frankistan were the sect. This guy decided he wants to make a new religion. He was a Yid. He wants to make a new religion. It's gonna be a combo of Jews and Christians, and we're all gonna be together and live happily ever after. And was King. The Bishop of Lvov. The Bishop of Lvov arranged there should be a big debate. He was a promoter of this guy, and he made a big debate. In the debate was this guy, and there was a guy named Chaim Rappaport, Rav Yitzchak Daiber Margolius, and Rav Yisrael of Mezhebush, aka the Baal Shem Tov. And there was the 3 of them again versus this guy Frank, and they did kaparas with this guy. Yeah, I know. I don't know. Whatever. Probably he had a team here also. I don't know. Henchman, whatever. Anyway, they did kaparas with this guy, and he was so embarrassed. Shita also. He was so embarrassed that he closed up shop, and that was the end of Frankistan. It was at the time it was catching on. It was getting a lot of people. All right, so last night we were continuing with the base of Mikdash over here. So last night we were talking about different nishkas. There's of course as Nashim we said on Temple Mount is the women's balcony, which originally was not a women's balcony, like Moshe pointed out. It was originally was put together in the Chatzar. Was women came there and men came there in the Chatzar, everyone together. And what happened was during Simchas Beis She'eva, on Sukkot, when the men were dancing with her, the Gemara says that whoever didn't see Simchas Beis She'eva, whoever didn't see the joy on Sukkot, the dancing, they never saw true joy in their life. Yet the people were juggling. The Torah scholars were juggling. They were juggling fire. Then one had knew how to play music. Would play music. And there's 2 opinions of why they built this Esrus Nashim, why they built this women's balcony. One was because it got so crazy, it was so busy there that the women couldn't see and they weren't enjoying. So they built for them as nashim. They went on a higher platform, and now they're able to see. That's one opinion why it was built. The other opinion why it was built was because there was too much mingling going on, and the sages said, all right, but they're probably both true. Both true, and that's why they made this. The wood balcony. So that's why I was saying. All right. So then we spoke about the lishkas hanaziri. We spoke about the nazir chamber. We spoke about the lishkas hashmeinin, the oil chamber, which also that's where they picked up they brought the coupons after they bought the oil, flour, and wine, which is needed for all the karbanas, and that's where they bought that. That's where they picked it up. Spoke delicious Mitzrayim, where the Mitzrayim would go to the mikvah in that lishka, in that chamber, and it also and then there was one more lishka. It was the lishka se'etzim. Lishka se'etzim was where they inspected the wood. The wood would come in, wood that was used on the mizbeach to burn the karbanas. So they would inspect it,
with a fire.
Yes, right. And they would check it over there to make sure it didn't have worms, and then bugs. Termites, probably. Yeah. Yeah. And who would do that inspection? So it would be either young kohanim with a blemish. They couldn't do that. They couldn't serve in the mikdash because they had a blemish, but they're able to check the wood. Or retired kohanim. They're the ones who are busy with the wood over there. Story is told once. The Gemara says a story that one time one of the young Kohanim were in there when they were checking the wood, and they found a tile that was loose, a loose tile. He picked it up. He saw there was a tunnel. The tunnel went over there, and right away they had a discussion. What's this tunnel for? And they turned down the second mikdash. Figured out that this was weird. This must be where the Araim, where the Ark is buried. No, this is not Indiana Jones. Is that you gonna ask me?
I was like, the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Not Indiana Jones. It was a Kayan. Your cousin.
Yeah.
Maybe no. And so they realized that this is where the Aram must be. Aram was Yeshayahu Hanavia, Isaiah the prophet, so he before the first base was destroyed, he already saw it coming, and he made the special tunnel, and they hid the Aron over there, and now they discover what?
No.
Shalom made the tunnel. Okay, so Yeshayahu hid the tunnel where Shalom made the tunnel, and and now they discovered where it is. So he got all excited and decided he's going to go to bring back down because they were missing him. The second base were missing him. And when he went in, a fire just came out and exploded him. They said, "Uh-oh, huh?" Yeah, that's the message. And so they decided this is probably a sign from Hashem that he doesn't want the iron coming out, and he said, "I'll leave it to Indiana Jones." And that was the lishka that happened where that tile was in the lishka se'etzim, was in the wood chamber. Next you had the Niknar gate. After you had the Niknar gate, so after you have next on Harvai, the Niknar gate, and the Niknar gate went from the Ezra's Nashim from the woman's balcony, the Azara, and it had 15 stairs. Each of those stairs were a half a cubit. So cubit of Amma is approximately 1.6 feet. So that means it was 9 feet. 9 inches. Sorry, 9 inches. 1.6 to 9 inches, right? 9 inches high, but 9 inches deep. Each step. There were 15 of these steps, and those 15 steps were the place where the Levium would sing the Shir Shayim, the song of the day. They would sing on those steps, those 15 steps. And behind those 2 steps on both sides were 2 doors, and those 2 doors led to a chamber where they kept the harps and all the music left. The music instruments. So they kept on music instruments, and
One, and the other side was just to come out.
oh,
One was where they kept the music instruments. The other one was Lishkas Maariv.
that was, I think, another door. The second door. It wasn't a second door here. There was another door right next to it, I think.
One on one side. One was for the. Maybe
Oh,
not.
correctly.
Because the last time, it was a
Watch
long
the
time
video
ago.
again.
I was very young.
We have to
when I
watch
was
the
there.
video again. Anyway, so there was right behind it. That's where they kept all the musical yeah, where they, and that's also these steps is also where they rehearse. It's not the marriage. So, yeah. What's that marriage? Only once? Twice? 3 times? Right, salt is high bitter. What happened? How about lashes?
heel schön, wenn du watschen, wie die Worte, aber da schön, es Amma, Israel hat. Ich habe es gar nicht mehr, aber die haben mal die haben noch mal los, das Programm kann mich nicht. Ich habe eine halbe Israel war all of man kann nur mehr. He's got a schwer, aber ja, maar die burgers die gaan leuk maar los, die we gaan hem misschien geven. We gaan hem rijden al bij iets is, ja, er wel over, maar dan kan je er wel mee. Nee, allemaal met mij is, maar we gaan het maar doen, zo, maar wie is naast, ik zei, hallo, maar ik kan je wel, dan gaan we als dan is je wel, dan gaan we als daar hebben we wel met wel mee. Dus gaan we ons lezen in boos en we gaan bij iets, zo, ik heb maar van de smijten wel mee. Ik zal maar moet je maar gaan even alleen maar zelf wel mee. Ois is only in who you are, is only all call yourself, and Amen.